It happened. Breath of the Wild 2 has officially been delayed to spring 2023. While we were hoping for the Zelda team to stay true to the original 2022 release window, spring 2023 isn't all that far off from the 2022 holiday season and sets the sequel's release closer to the anniversary of the original. Yes, it may be a bit of a letdown, but at this point, delays are to be expected from the Zelda series. So we will just have to wait a little longer to get our grubby little hands on Breath of the Wild 2. For the first half of the announcement, we get to see Aonuma with his sharp new haircut as he explains the change in release. Cutting into the second half of the announcement, we get footage from the previous Breath of the Wild 2 trailer shown at E3 2021, all while Aonuma reiterates that the world of Breath of the Wild 2 will take place on the surface and in the sky, adding to it by saying that the world goes beyond even that. I can only imagine what type of surprises the Zelda team has in store for us. Maybe we'll see underwater exploration make a return, or possibly an interconnected underground section of the map. After that, Aonuma goes on to say that there will be an even wider variety of features for us to enjoy. Judging by the patents we've seen filed by Nintendo thus far, this game is already looking to be feature-rich, and that's only the very beginning of it. Finishing off the old footage brings us to a very short new clip of Link. The new footage reveals some rather important things. So before we move on from here, let's go over some of the details we can make out in this first part of the clip. To begin, we can see that Link is standing in front of some kind of pedestal, something similar to the one seen in the last Breath of the Wild 2 E3 trailer. Link's hair is flowing in the wind, and while he begins to turn, we can make out a few things. For one, he has the Master Sword, half of it at least, and it's glowing blue. Fi might just be making her grand return. Also, notice that the Master Sword's iconic scabbard seems to be missing in action, instead being carried by a standard leather one. Moving on, his new prosthetic also seems to be emitting a golden light. I know what you're thinking, but it's probably not the Triforce. If we zoom in on Link's right hand, we can make out a mysterious symbol that doesn't look like the Triforce at all. What could this be? Anyhow, it seems as though Link is activating whatever pedestal he's in front of, similar to unlocking a Sheikah Tower in Breath of the Wild. Speaking of symbols, we can make out another one to the right of Link's hand, which looks similar to the ones featured in the green text surrounding Ganondorf and the symbols from the second trailer where Link is laying down. Another thing I'd like to point out is the similarities between Link's new bow and his arm. At the top of the bow's limb, we can see that the design is similar to that of Link's right arm. It's probably just some random bow, but I can't help but make the connection here. Scrubbing forward as Link turns to pull out the Master Sword, we finally get a clear look at Link's face with his new arm and outfit. Pausing here reveals that Link's face hasn't been corrupted by malice, no beard, he's looking sexy as ever. Even though I never subscribed to the idea of Link's face being corrupted or the whole notion that this wasn't Breath of the Wild Link, I'm glad we got confirmation. 1, nothing has happened to Link's face, and 2, this is the hero of the wild and not some hero of old. As Link goes to grab the Master Sword, his hand and the pedestal continues to emit a golden light. The shot then changes perspective to right above Link, where we can make out 2 more symbols directly behind him, which were also shown in the previous E3 2021 trailer. We also get a better look at Link's new outfit from the front, which shows off a decorative Triforce design at the bottom of Link's sash near his waist, and we get a better look at the yellow pattern on Link's garb near his shoulder. To wrap it up, we come to the most important part of this teaser. What in the happened to the Master Sword? Fi, what has Ganondorf done to you? At this point, it's obvious both Link and the Master Sword have suffered substantial damage, both the sword and Link's arm presumably being eaten by malice, which was shown in the last trailer in this scene here. What does this mean for our hero? Yeah, we've seen the Master Sword lose its power to repel evil, we've had to temper it, heck, we've even seen it slightly damaged in Breath of the Wild. But we have never once seen this thing break in half. Better yet, dissolve like it has. From what I can tell, the pedestal Link has activated might be a way of repairing the Blade of Evil's Bane via some type of healing process, possibly functioning like the sacred flames used to temper the Master Sword and Skyward Sword. A nice way to reset our hero back to square one. After this, the screen cuts to Aonuma, who finishes off the delay announcement. So, what do you think? Does the Master Sword breaking come with dire consequences? Did Demise's residual consciousness have enough time to fully dissolve within the blade before it broke? Let me know your thoughts on everything, including the delay, down in the comments below. And while you're at it, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more Zelda content. RMFH out.